Yeah, Give Me One Reason. It's live. Eric Clapton and friends. And the main friend on lead vocals there, Tracy Chapman, Pride of Cleveland. Hey everyone, I'm Steve Pappas, and we want to welcome into our oWOW studios Danielle Nicole from the Danielle Nicole Band, formerly Trampled Under Foot. Hey Danielle, welcome.
Thank you very much, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's so cool to have you here. Where'd you come in from last night?
We were in Buffalo.
Okay, that's not that far. I was going to say if you came in from Seattle or something, I'd be surprised that you'd still be awake. But you're kind of ready to roll here. You got your guitar in hand.
Yeah, I'm always ready. For music, anyway.
You know, I didn't realize, because we were like the first station in Cleveland when we went on the air about a year and a half ago. We played Trampled Under Foot. Of course, we play your music too. And we introduced Cleveland to your music, and that's such a thrill for us, but I'm sure it's got to be a thrill for you. I didn't realize that Trampled Under Foot had actually been together for, a number of years, but we just went on about a year and a half ago, and you got a whole new audience right here in Northeast Ohio.
No, that's great. It's always wonderful to get new tough friends and fans out, and even though we kind of put the project to bed for a little while, we're doing some reunion shows, so it's great to get some new eyes and ears out get some new energy for the love of the tough love, as we call it.
Now, you're a Midwesterner, so you're kind of still in the Midwest. Well, Ohio is in the Midwest, but you're not from Ohio. Where are you from? I'm from a small town south of Kansas City, Missouri, called Richville, Missouri. But we kind of made our way up the highway to the big city, and I was a preteen, when we moved to Kansas City, and just started really just cutting my teeth at the coffee houses with my dad and you
my
come
brothers.
from a musical family.
Yeah, my parents, both my parents, and my mom's mom, and great aunts and uncles on the dad's side are musicians.
But what, I know you play guitar and bass, and I really want to talk about bass guitars and stuff like that, because I play guitar and bass a little bit. I try. I don't really play. I like to play better than I do, but that's a little bit later in the conversation.
I think we all do, though.
But when you were a little girl, you were in the band, and you played saxophone, and then what happened?
Yeah, I was in 6th grade when I started playing the saxophone, and we moved in mid-year of 7th grade, and the school I went to actually didn't have band.
Oh,
I know, and so
that's just wrong. That's just wrong.
Yeah, I agree. But funding is what it is, and it's allocated where it's allocated.
So you put down the sax and picked up the guitar, and that was
we had some guitars laying around the house, and my brother Nick, before he moved to Philly in the late '90s, he let me borrow one of his guitars, and so I was playing some rhythm and learned some chords, and my other brother Chris and I would jam in the basement. He played drums and I'd play guitar, and then when we decided to form the band, I learned to play bass so that we could keep it just a power trio.
Sure.
And I was like, well, we'll just see how it goes. So I started taking some lessons and walking the fretboard at home, and I just fell in love with it. And it's challenging, and I clam all the time, but it's all right.
There's something about women bass players. I mean, like Amy Mann from she's a solo artist now, but of course till Tuesday, and she plays bass, and I just think it's so cool when a woman picks up a bass and really can rock the house with it. I just think.
Well, yeah, cool. It's a foundational instrument, and it's always been regarded as a man's instrument in the industry, but not so much anymore. I'm seeing a lot of women, and not a lot of people know about Carol Kay that did. Yeah, she played bass on all those notes. Like, you've been listening to a chick this whole time, man. That you don't even know it.
Oh my God. Well, listen. You're going to be at the Beachland Tavern tonight, and what can we expect from you when you're on stage? What are you going to do? What are you going to?
Well, it's mostly original stuff. So what you've seen on YouTube, I'd say it's a 90% original show. Because I never want to say it's all original and then bust out Zeppelin, because then.
Well, no, that's fun. I love it when a band does. When you cover somebody else's work. I think that's put your own spin on it. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. But we do a lot of real grooving, heavy roots blues. I don't really like to tell people this is what you're gonna feel. You know what I mean? It's we work as hard as we possibly can to put on the best show we can and spread as much music and love, so it's just it's a big party.
Is it all acoustic, or are you getting
no, it's full band. I usually do maybe 3 songs towards the middle of the set on acoustic and kind of strip it down. And then that's just if it's feeling it. When we do set lists and stuff, it's just like, telling people how they're going to feel for the night. It's like, you can't do that, No. So we get a guideline. Sometimes I'll do the acoustic and sometimes I won't.
Sure.
But, we've had a few requests on Facebook and social media, so I'll get those in there.
Okay.
I'll get those in on the list.
A few minutes ago, you just said something that's really the operative word here. You mentioned Zeppelin, and of course, Trampled Under Foot is. Tell me about your brothers or you. Who loves Led Zeppelin?
Yeah, well, we all did. My dad had a really great record collection when we were growing up, and so we listened to Zappa, Zeppelin, Beatles, lots of Beatles, so A to Z, we really did. And when we were trying to figure out what to name the band, and Nick had written a song that kind of reminded me of it, and I was like, I'd said the name Trampled Under Foot, and we all kind of got silent for a second. We're like, man, that'd be a cool band name if we broke it into 3 words, and we didn't even do Zeppelin for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And so people would come to our shows thinking that we were a Zeppelin tribute band, and they were just like, we didn't do any Zeppelin. We're like, no. And so finally Chris was like, dude, maybe we should do some Zeppelin. So we learned some Zeppelin songs and incorporated it, and then we even did a few Zeppelin tribute shows and did a few full sets of just pure Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And, we hired other guitarists to come in.
Yeah.
You can't do it justice with just one guitar because he overlaid it 18 times. Right. So you gotta have a couple extra people to do it. But
who were some of your other musical influences though?
I was crushing hard on Etta James.
Yeah.
I've been crushing on her forever. I saw her live and at Spirit Fest in Kansas City, and this was years ago. I was very, very young, and that's kind of how I knew I'd always been a performer. I took dance, when I was younger, like tap, jazz, and ballet, and I always loved to be on the stage and perform and sing. But when I saw her, I was like, I want to be a musician, And I didn't get really deeply immersed into her music probably until I was 16, 17, a little later, in my teens. But and growing up, it was all the staples, Janice, Aretha, Bonnie, Etta, and then you get into, and then you get more, and then you get further back to Big Maybelle and Coco, of course. First blues song I ever sang was Coco Taylor, so I grew up listening to the greats, and that's as far as women go, and then as far as men are concerned, Muddy Waters was the Hard Again album was my soundtrack to life from 18 to 20. I just would not take it off.
What's cool is even though these other influences, and maybe I guess you can maybe kind of hear that you've got the blues roots and all that kind of stuff, but you've really got your own style. You've really made it all your own. It's not like you're copying anyone. You might be influenced or like their stuff, but you've really got your own thing going. You want to do a song for us?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
All right.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're gonna do Wandering Heart here.
All right.
She's sitting by her window, watching the sun go down. She's trying to find a baby, but he don't want to be found. my